This is Mr. Elmhorst with the video for the homework on creating volume rectangular prisms with multiplying base area times height. So a prism is a three-dimensional figure that has two parallel shapes. Two parallel shapes that are congruent, and another word for congruent in geometry just means equal. So the rectangular prism, P-R-I-S-M, prism, rectangular prisms are three-dimensional figures that have parallel congruent rectangles or bases. So the prisms are named by their base shape. So if the bottom of the three-dimensional figure is a rectangle, then it's a rectangular prism. If the bottom is a triangle, then it is a triangular prism. So what is going on with the volume in sixth grade is now we're going to start looking at base shapes. And if we measured this using a ruler, the bottom would be 7.7 centimeters. And we're going to use that length and write down centimeters, because in order to find area and volume, we need to use the labels for units of measure. And then the height of this, the perpendicular height, is 3 centimeters. And how do we find the area of the shape? We're going to multiply centimeters times centimeters, and that's going to give us square centimeters, or centimeters too. And 27.5 times 3 will give us an area of 22.5 centimeters squared. Notice we're having the labels are printed there for you already. Now, we need to build volume, and volume is going to come from base area, and then we're going to multiply the area times the height of the three-dimensional shape. But we don't have a three-dimensional shape yet. So let's take this rectangle, and we're going to pretend that we flop it down. We lay it down, and we're going to build volume on top of this area. So we have the short side is 3 centimeters. What's the long side? 7.5 centimeters. And if we build volume on top of this rectangle, we're going to build volume going straight up. And using the ruler, this is 2 centimeters tall. Let me try to write that a little better. 2 centimeters tall. Now that we've built it up 2 centimeters, we have a three-dimensional shape. So 1 centimeter, and then 2 centimeters. We're not going to get into the details of all of this, but if it was 3 centimeters wide, and then something like 7, it would look something like this going all the way back. And then you'd have all of these blocks filling the volume up 2 levels. So how many total cubes would we need to fill up this shape? Now the height is 2. The base area is 22.5. So if we multiply area times height, we're going to get volume. How many little cubes would you need? 45. That's a lot. So went through the first example. Now let's go through 2 more examples together. First, we're going to find the area of the base, which is 9 times 10. So we have 90 yards squared. 90 yards squared. And how tall is this shape? 10. The height is 10 yards. So now you're going to build the volume from the base going up. We're not going to do all the 10 layers, but we close in the top and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this would go on, so on and so forth, filling it all the way up with cubes. Mathematically, we're going to multiply the area 90 times 10, which is how many yards cubed? 900 yards cubed. And the last example, third example, we're going to find the base area, 3 times 10. How many yards squared is the area? 30 yd to the exponent of 2, because yards times yards is going to be yards squared. Now we take base area, multiply base area times height to get volume down below. And 30 times 3.5. How many cubic yards would it take to fill up this shape? 105 to go all the way across and fill the shape up, 3.5 yards. That would be a lot of cubic units in order to completely fill up this shape. So finish the front, use the labels. When you get to the back, when given the volume, and when you have the volume and you need to find the other things, you can divide by the volume to find the base height or the base area or the height. Make sure when you get to the last one, you don't need to change anything here. You're just multiplying base area times height to get volume. Base area times height equals volume, and then use your labels, meters cubed, inches cubed, and centimeters cubed.